Hello to all my carnivore cousins and carnivore curious folk. Welcome. I'm Ade, otherwise known as Black Carnivore, and welcome to my channel. I try to help people to reverse disease and lose weight using the carnivore diet. So today I want to talk about why sometimes we can't stop eating on the standard American diet and what changes when you're following the carnivore diet. So if any of that is of interest to you, you are in the right place. Stay here. So I just watched this video called This Is Why You Can't Stop Eating by Violet from the Road to Health Keto Done Right. That's her channel. She talks about sugar addiction and what that has to do with why we can't stop eating. And I consider myself to be a sugar addict, so I wanted to share and talk about this. And I think it's an important topic because a lot of us struggle with, getting rid of the artificial sweeteners, the cheats, bread and stuff like that. And so first I wanted to go over some questions that might help you think about where food is and sugar is situated in your life. So this list of questions come from Dr. Vera Tarman, who is like one of the premier scientists who does research on food addiction and the brain and that sort of thing. And so her book is called Food Junkies. And if you're interested in this topic, like, this is the book you've got to have. So I encourage you to get that and to read it. But let me read through these lists of questions and see how you respond to the questions. Now, if you answer yes to 3 or more of the questions, you may have a problem. But don't worry, we have some ideas and some solutions. So don't worry if this does all ring a bell. So have you ever wanted to stop eating and found that you just couldn't? Do you think about food or your weight constantly? Do you find yourself attempting one diet or food plan after another with no lasting success? Do you binge and then get rid of the binge through vomiting, exercise, laxatives, or another form of purging? Do you eat differently in private than you do in front of people? Do you eat to escape your feelings? Do you eat when you're not hungry? Have you ever discarded food only to retrieve and eat it later? Do you fast or severely restrict your food intake? Have you ever stolen other people's food? Have you ever hidden food to make sure that you have enough? Do you obsessively calculate the calories you've burned against the calories you've eaten? Do you frequently feel guilty or ashamed about what you've eaten? Do you feel hopeless about your relationship with food? So those are some great questions and really profound. Violet says in her video that the reason why you can't stop eating is that the brain is sending signals for you to go and get sugar so that you can get a dopamine hit and to feel better. And that's really what's going on. And that we have been conditioned to be, to be moderate with alcohol and to avoid illegal drugs. But many of us have never thought about sugar as a drug itself. And so haven't really exercised the same kind of moderation or concern about moderation. And that is also reinforced by the snack and food industry because, basically they send the message that sugar in moderation is fine. And if you can't moderate, that's your problem. Many of us argue that it's not our problem, that the inability to moderate is not a personal or moral failing, but it is an indication of the addictive nature of the substance. The substance itself is the problem. So you tell me, I'd love to hear back from you. Do you feel like you are able to moderate the sweet stuff? Some people, my co-host Arian on the live streams, he goes to dinner at his parents' house every Sunday and eats whatever they serve him, including, all the standard soul food that we're used to, mac and cheese, whatever, peach cobbler, all of that stuff. And then he eats it for one meal and then that's it. Doesn't eat anything else. So that's amazing. I could never do that. I get started on this and it'd be weeks before I'd manage to pull myself and get back on carnivore. And that's why I just made the decision, I'm just not doing this because I can't be sure that I can stop. I really just can't be sure that I can stop. So you tell me, I'd love to hear down below in the comments. Tell me, how, what's your relationship with sugar? Do you feel like you can moderate, or do you need to be an abstainer? So why am I talking about this on a carnivore channel? Well, I'm sure you can imagine that I think the carnivore diet is like the perfect abstinence plan for somebody who is struggling with sugar addiction. And when I say sugar, let me just be clear. I'm not just talking about like table sugar, but I'm talking about, all of its forms, and whether we're talking about flour, grain, or sugar. So you might be a person that loves pretzels and chips. You might be a person that loves bread and bagels, and you might be a person that loves like cake and donuts, but all of that's in the same category. And, all of it is providing that same hit to your, your reward system. So, so all of that is a problem. So when I say sugar, I'm referring to all of those things. So anyway, when I talk about the carnivore diet, I think it is, it's a great abstinence plan for anybody trying to come off of sugar, because it cuts out all of that. So keto, in the early days when there weren't that many, products out there, you basically ate vegetables and, some kind of meat and butter, or olive oil. There wasn't really a lot of stuff. But now there are so many products, fat bombs and bulletproof coffee, and just, products made from nut flours and all kinds of flours. And, it can be really, really hard. So if you're just getting started and don't really understand the science of it all, and you just go to the grocery store and you're like, oh, keto spaghetti sauce, keto this and keto that. A lot of that is just marketing. And, and it doesn't help people. So some people are able to eat some of these treats and really do well, but eating a lot of them is really going to be a problem. And so on the carnivore diet, it really helps you just clean all of that out. And some people treat it like an elimination diet, going a certain period of time on a completely clean diet, and others choose to stay on it long term. Doesn't matter. Either way, if you want to do it for a while and see, or you want to do it long term, either way, I can help you. So definitely, reach out to me. I do free consultations, so you can talk about, whether some of my coaching programs might be helpful. If you think that you are a sugar addict, I do have a group going with carnivores who are struggling, with sugar addiction, and that meets regularly. So there's a link down below where you can sign up to get more information about that. If you're thinking about the carnivore diet and don't know how to get started, follow this playlist to show you, how to get started with that. And I encourage you to click down below, click the subscribe button, and turn on all the notifications so that you won't miss any more of my videos. And I'm certainly going to do more on this topic. And of course, I do have a playlist on sugar addiction with some of the, the best experts in this field. So, if this is of interest to you, you definitely want to watch those videos, because, there's a lot of interesting science about, why this happens, what to do about it, and, how to treat it going forward. And, it's something that has really captivated my attention. And like I said, I struggled for sure with sugar, and I want to make sure that there is a pathway out. So many of us struggle for so long, and I've watched people gain and lose tons of weight over and over again, and that's no way to live. Like, think about how much of your attention and focus is not spent on curing cancer, bringing about world peace, bringing about civil rights for Black people in the United States, whatever it is. Like, you are not doing that thing because you are worried about weight and your health. So yeah, let's get healthy. Let's finish this and get healthy. So I gave you a lot of instruction of things to do. I hope you keep that sorted out, but most important, like, stay in touch with me, come back to my channel, keep watching my stuff. I know that there's a lot of content here that's really helpful for you. All right, I'll see you next time.